करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्तदामि भगवद्गीते भगवद्वेषिणीम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैः स्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः
युक्तः कर्मफलं त्यक्त्वा शान्तिमाप्नोति नैष्टिकीम् अयुक्तः कामकारेण फले सक्तः निबध्यते. That is the one we saw last evening. The difference between a person who has not only purity of mind, mastery over the senses, but also has a reason to become detached. A clear reasoning and not merely what is known as smashana vairagya. Sometimes when things are not going the way we want, going sixes and sevens, I don't know why they call it sixes and sevens. When things are not happening the way we want, lot of disappointments and sorrows, then suddenly we say, yeah, Jeevan, why should I live? This kind of mindset, depressed mindset happens, and then everything looks bleak and nothing interesting and things like that. Then one may say, सब कुछ छोड़ना है बस. This is called smashan vairagya. Like a person who is very dear to you passed away, let us say. What did he carry after all? Nobody carries anything, nobody came with anything, nobody carries anything, so why am I working so hard? Until when you come back home, your shares are gone up. Immediately all the vairagya out of the windows, gone with the wind. So this is short term, this kind of vairagya is not what is said to be the qualification of a true seeker. Yukta, the very word Gurudev used to explain in detail. Yukta means his body, his mind and intellect is well integrated. What your buddhi has become convinced of, the mind follows it well. In our case, it is dichotomized. Buddhi has conviction, mind doesn't follow. Mind doesn't want to cooperate. I know I cannot eat sweet, Swamiji, but my hands want it. As though hand is the one which is going to the sweet. Neither the hand actually wants the sweet, nor your tongue wants the sweet. Your mind wants the sweet. And if you don't control that, so therefore, Yuktaha means one whose conviction and the thought process is in line, an action. Your action represents your conviction, which is undertaken by the mind. Such a person, karma phalam tyaktva, naishtikim shantim apnoti. The Shanti there is final and conclusive, unlimited. And on the other hand, ayuktaha, person who is phale saktaha, attached to the results of action, nibadyate, is getting bound. Our bondage is therefore is a mistake of the mind and not the world. The world doesn't bind us, really speaking. It is we, like a cocoon, we bind ourselves. Continuing on that point, how does he engage in this world if he is not interested in the result? Again, the detachment is at the level of the mind and not physically running away somewhere. So here he says, Sarva karmani manasa
Sarvakarmani manasa
Sanyasyaste sukham vashi
Sanyasyaste sukham vashi
Navadvare pure dehi
Navadvare pure dehi
Naiva kurvanna karayan
Naiva kurvanna karayan
Sarva karmani manasa Sanyasyaste sukham vashi Navadvare pure dehi Naiva kurvanna karayan. The mind which is gained the right understanding even engages in action. The action does not bind the person nor the result. And such a person is not unproductive existence in this world. Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda, from the time when he started to come into the public and start to speak about Gita, he never stopped for 43 years. Because he knew that what he does is for Loka Sangrahartham, Loka Kalyanartham, no personal ambition, really speaking. And I am just a mouthpiece of the Lord. And he often would tell us, don't ever consider or think that your audience is stupid. They are your altar, Bhagavan's altar. Consider your audience as the altar of the Lord, and you are talking to Him. How careful you should become. You cannot just say anything you want and then get away with that. Bhagavan is watching. Hey, what are you saying? You cannot fool me because I said the Gita and you are telling me something which I never told. So Gurudev was asked this question when others, those who are sadhus who are pretty much sitting in their own matas or wherever and doing puja, constantly rituals. So, and he never would sit in one place. He would continuously work. He would work 18 hours a day, writing letters, talking to people, going to lectures. So people asked, you are a sadhu and you are supposed to do upasana, right? Sitting and doing something. What is your puja? He said, this is my puja. I am doing puja every day. You don't see it? Explaining Bhagavan's words to the people is puja for me. What other altar you want? I am directly seeing him. That is the way he worked. So, therefore, manasa sanyasya, sarva karmani, all actions, manasa sanyasya aste, he remains sukham. Vashi. Vashi means one who has everything under his control. जिसके पास सब वश में है. He keeps everything, the way he would think and the way he would deliver or talk and interact, everything is pretty much well designed, well decided and planned. And that way his mind has direction, conviction, and delivery of things. This is over a period of time only one can achieve. It's like first time when you're driving a car, you do not know where to look, what to do. There is a mirror here and a mirror there, and then a steering wheel, and of course I'm not talking about automated cars. That's making it more lethargic. But you have to do it yesterday. I mean, we previously when you have the gears also, then that also you have to be careful. There's no camera which shows what is behind. You have to look at there. So many things to do. So in the beginning stages, you will find it very hard. Is it not afterwards? You can listen to your music or talk to somebody over the phone and still you drive well. Hopefully. So when you have become master, then there is no effort or strain. So Vashi, a person of such mastery over his mind, the senses and the intellect and the way you would interact with the world, and such a person, even though he lives in this physical body, Dehi, not Dahi, Dehi, Dehi means Dehin, one who has this body. What kind of body? Navadware Pure. The body that has 9 doors. Our body has 9 doors. Huh? 7 of them are here only. 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, mouth, 7. Then anus and reproductive organ. 9 is in the body. In this Navadware Pure Dehi, even though he remains in this physical body, Sukham, he remains so peaceful to himself. Naiva Kurvan na Karyan. Neither doing nor causing to do. Karna or Karana. Hindi mein, right? Doing and making others do. Naiva Kurvan na Karyan. Sukham. So the main key point is Manasa Sarva Karmani Sanyasya. And what we have seen in the previous few verses back, Naiva Kinchit Karomiti Yukto Manyeta Tattvavid Pashyan Shunman Sprishan Jigran Ashnan Gachan Swasan Swapan Pralapan Visarjan Jigran Unmishan Nimishan Api. Yes, Grishnan, not Jigran. Indriyani Indriyarteshu Vartante iti dhaya. All things are going on and I don't need to do anything, really speaking. See, one thing we should very clearly understand is the actions of our past, whatever we have done, they are all stored in us. And results of our actions are stored in us. Meaning, what you are going to face as a consequence of your actions are stored in 2 ways. When they are positive, they are called samskaras. When they are negative, they are called vasanas. Let's broadly divide this. What you are giving to children in Bal Vihar is samskar, not vasana. Vasanas are those which will make you extrovertedly engage, and we have accumulated over many lives. So it's not yesterday or not this life alone. And those vasanas are to express, and that is why we have taken this birth. The purpose of this birth is we have to experience the results of our actions, plus how you experience is also decided by your vasanas. I have given this example to you many times. I'm sure you have forgotten, so I will have to tell you. See, what I meet in this world is decided by my karma phala. Each one of us. And that is how every jiva is created, and for every jiva, the world is designed that way. Even though the world we live appears to be the same, but actually the field is created for you to experience in a particular way. So external circumstances and situations come to your life because that is what you have to meet according to your past karma. Now, the vasanas that are there in us, the impressions which are driving us to experience in a particular way, that is not decided by the world. That is decided by your vasanas. Let us say I am going to somebody's house and they are putting rasamalai in front of me. Rasamalai. Sometimes it is rasamilai. Rasamalai. So now, I never asked them to do it. Right? Somehow they know that I like it. Not that anybody else again start doing it. So, when it is there in front of me, it came to me because my karma phala only. Alright, I'm just giving a positive example so that you don't feel unhappy about it. Alright. Even people who you meet is decided by your karma only. You should look at your spouse, karma. And she will say the same thing, you will say the same thing to you. Now, vasanas are there, and since I have the vasana for that particular sweet, I immediately go for it. Now, what happens? The vasana gets strengthened. The more you engage in the vasana-driven action, definitely it will get more strong. It will not disappear or get exhausted. We say, by experiencing you exhaust? No. By experience you get strengthened. The vasanas get more strong. That is when samskara come in. The samskaras are those which will tell you, when you learn properly, this is not good for you. This much of sugar is not good for you. Like your doctor, when he says, this you don't eat because you are already diabetic, don't eat. This knowledge that comes to you from a doctor, in this example, is a samskara. A new information has come to you. So based upon that new information, you, instead of taking the full one rasagulla, you may take a small piece of it. You fulfilled your karma phala, understand that. But not indulged. Because of which your vasanas are reduced or it becomes weak. The weakening of the vasana is because of the samskara you brought in. Understand this point very carefully. So, when we engage in this world, we must consciously engage in building up our samskaras, which will counteract with your vasanas. It won't stop your karma phala. Please understand, it will not stop it. It will come. Your results of actions will come. But how you are going to meet is decided by the way you approach it. And when you have the strength of the samskaras, you not only face the karma phalam, but not build up the vasanas. This is why Bhagavan Krishna, while teaching to Arjun, he asked him to act, not to act. Engage in the war in the sattvic way. Karma yoga is a sattvic way of engaging. Is it not? Rajasic way of engaging is a revengeful act, which is what Arjuna was on the battlefield. Bhagavan Krishna did not stop him to act. Act you must, but change your attitude. That samskara he gave to him. What samskara? Sattvika samskara. That's why again and again he puts the point sattvik. Nitya sattvastu bhava. Otherwise you would have said, okay, don't do anything, go and take sanyasa. That is not going to solve the problem. Why? Because Your vasanas are still there. And he cautions him, you just run away from the battlefield, you are not going to escape from your karma phala. They will come back. Prakriti myanti bodhani nigraha kim karishyati. Prakriti will make you go through that. Who will stop it? So, what do we mean by manasa sanyasya? What does it mean? You understand, not that you are running away from the world of action, but in your mind you have changed the way you are going to look at it. Sarva karmani manasa sattvika bhavena sanyasya. And having given up the mind actions in the mind, he engages joyfully while living in this physical body. Nine-gated physical body, and na kurvan na karayan, what it means is desirefully he would not do anything, and out of desire he would not engage others also to fulfill his desires. Naiva kurvan na karayan. So definition of sannyasa here must be understood not as non-action. It is knowing that you are not the actor. You are not the one who is doing it. It is according to your karma, according to your result of your actions of the past. You see, when you wake up today morning, who wakes you up? Your karma. Even though alarm is there. But alarm comes. It's too early to get up on a Saturday morning at this early. You only kept it alarm previous night. I think I should sleep 1 more hour. But how long you sleep? After some time, your Prakriti will wake you up. Because your karma phala is waiting outside the door. Come on, get up. It will come in the form of hunger. Or dog. Knock at your, come on, get up, let's go for a walk. So the karma phala will have to be faced every day. How Gurudev has made it very simple. What you meet is your prarabdha, how you meet is your purushartha. And this purushartha self-effort is built up by not vasanas, by samskaras. When in the absence of samskar, what self-effort you have to put? To eat rasgulla, what self-effort you have to put? Tell me. मैं जो खा रहा हूँ रसमलाई ये बहुत प्रयत्न से खा रहा हूँ क्या प्रयत्न है उसमें पुरुषार्थ है मेरा यह पुरुष का अर्थ क्या है so this there is no purushartha here purushartha comes only when you have effort what is that effort overcoming vasanas with samskara that is the purushartha there when the doctor has informed me I should not eat sweet anymore not to eat that is the purushartha there or moderate yourself. That is a purushartha. Because purushartha usually is akin to prayatna. Vasana, expressing vasana is not a prayatna. Expressing vasana, it's not expressing your desire, it's not a prayatna. The prayatna comes in overcoming that push of the desire or the vasanas with the samskara of sattvika rupena, sattvika bhavena. That is what is called teaching. How to engage in this world? By converting your habitual way of doing to sattvic way of doing. We should get exposed to that. So in samskaras, when you come to send the children to Balvihar, etc., basically they are building up the samskaras, how to face situations with the right values. Otherwise, they will imitate everybody around them. Is it not? Especially parents who are good, who are not good. They don't know. They themselves do not have the proper samskaras. Then obviously, the child will not get it from anywhere else when the child just imitates everybody around them. And that's why when you have some wise elders around, obviously they pick up from them. If they don't have that, the exposure to the right way of doing, obviously they will just live as dictated by your habits, vasanas, or by the surrounding people, the people whom you live with. And that's why it is necessary for them to get the correct input from the right source, how to face, how to do things, how to speak, how to engage, how to transact, how to behave, and how to do things with the correct mind, with the moral and ethical values in place, being honest, all these are all samskaras. Samskarana, samskara iti uchyate. That which purifies you. And Bhagavan says, since this is engagement of individual in their individual life, what is my role? Bhagavan says, na kartrutvam na karmani lokasya srijati prabhu na karma phala samyogam स्वभावस्तु प्रवर्तते न कर्तृत्वं न कर्माणि लोकस्य सृजति प्रभुः न कर्मफलसंयोगं स्वभावस्तु प्रवर्तते. I do not create any action for anybody. Na karmani, not the notion of doer in the individual, that also. Na kartrutvam, not the doership, na karmani, not action, lokasya, of the people, prabhu srijati. Bhagavan does not create. Bhagavan does not ask you to do anything. Does he tell you to do anything? Even as you are doing, I did it. Bhagavan did not create that. All that we do is decided by our desires. Bhagavan only created the field for us, the place to engage. He did not ask you to engage at all. Don't blame him. He is not responsible for anything that you yourself take up to do. Na karma phala sanyogam. Even your attachment to your result of action also not created by the Lord. What does he do then? Karma is not initiating you to action, na karmani. Not making you feel proud about what you are doing, kartrutva. Not that he is asking you to get attached to your result, that also I am not. Na kartrutvam na karmani lokasya srijati prabhu. Na karma phala sanyogam. Then how and why am I what I am? Swabhavaya. Swabhavastu pravartate. According to their own swabhav alone. That is the reason why when you look at your own family, your own brothers or sisters or your own children, they are not, nobody is same as the other one. They will be living and eating and be there in the same, under the same roof only. They don't, everyone is unique, is it not? Their desires are different, their ambitions are different, their behavior is different. Why? Swabhava. Born tendency. You are born with that. And you as a jiva is born with that. And you happen to be in a particular family area, family situation. And that particular situation is necessary for you to experience the life. But you will not behave in the same way like another person. This is why it is important for us to accept the theory of karma. If the two children are born from the same parents with the same DNA, then they should be behaving the same way. Many times it's just the opposite. Swamiji, this one is smart as me, the other one exactly like my spouse. I won't tell you man or woman, so they're very careful about it. Exactly. Useless. Now, one lady was asked, when your son is making any mistake, you forgive him immediately. It's always the other factor. उन लोग ऐसा है, मेरा लोग ऐसा नहीं. So everyone uniquely coming into this world to fulfill their own karma phalam, driven by their vasanas, the way they behave. So you are not here to change anybody. That's the first mistake you should avoid. सबको बदलना है मेरा काम है. You will be the most unhappy person in the world because of you nobody is going to change. Gurudev always would say that you change, that is your responsibility. Changing anybody else is not your responsibility. If they happen to change, looking at you is good. That's why be the change you would like to see, right? If you would like the people around you to change, you do that first and demonstrate that. Because according to their own knowledge and understanding alone, each one of them will live. Give them the knowledge. Let it work. So, Bhagavan, don't blame him also. Bhagavan says very clearly, I am hands off. Na kartrutvam, na karmani, na karma phala sanyogam. Logasya Bhagavan sujati. According to their own swabhava. Their swabhava means what? What is born, you are born with. Or what you have picked up on the way. I mean, like in our life, we pick up so many things on the way. Those also accumulate themselves to vasanas. You have a choice of picking up the wrong things, you have a choice of picking up the right thing. And when you pick up the right thing, that becomes samskar, as I said. And then when you pick up the wrong thing, that becomes vasanas. And swabhavas samskaras will counteract with vasanas. If you do not have samskaras, God will help you. What else to say? And Bhagavan says, whatever you do also, I would not take any credit for this. Na adatte kasyachit papam.
Navadate kasyachit papam.
Na chaiva sukrutam vibhuhu.
Na chaiva sukrutam vibhuhu.
Ajnanena vritam jnanam.
Ajnanena vritam jnanam.
Tena muhyanti jantavaha.
Tena muhyanti jantavaha.
Nadatte kasyachit papam. Na chaiva sukrutam vibhuhu. Ajnanena vritam jnanam. Tena muhyanti jantavaha. Kasyachit papam na adatte. Vibhuhu, vyapakatvat vibhuhu. The all-pervading Lord does not take anybody's sin. Christian people, when there is, what do you mean? We go and then we confess and Bhagavan will take all, Lord will take all our sins. Not at all. Krishna says, I won't take anybody's sin. I am very clear about this. Oh, so you would take only the merit? That also I don't. Nachai eva sukrutam. Neither anybody's sin, nor anybody's punya. Neither papa nor punya take. You are a very impartial son. You are totally detached. Yeah. Because what you did, you have to go through. You cannot escape from that. See, many people say, I have done so much of sin, and when I do some punya, will it offset? No. Equally, separately they are accounted. Their account is fixed. Debit credit, yahan nahi chalega. I have $100 and then I spent some $50. Then I added $70. So what much it become? 120. So more punya. Now, when you did commit sin, that is separately accounted, for which you have to go through. When you do meritorious, there is separately accounted, for which you go through. There is no question of cancellation. That means what? You cannot commit sin and go to there confess. Solve. Why? Because you confessed. Right? Then I can commit a murder and say, please forgive me, I have done it. Chalo, theek hai. And it's not about. For the sin you committed, you have to go through that experience. No question of reconciliation. Bank reconciliation, isn't it? So, na kasyachit papam adatte. He doesn't take anybody's sin. Na cha eva sukrutam. Not your good action. Because, not knowing this, without the correct knowledge, people due to their own ajnana. Ajnanena avrutam jnanam. Jnanam is avrutam, covered, obscured by ajnanam, by the imperfect, unclear thinking. Then, due to that, jantavaha muhyanti. In general, all the living beings are deluded. See, in 4th chapter itself, 14th chapter he would say, talks about that, 14th chapter about Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. Many people ask this question also, if there are jivas, new jivas are coming, because the human population is increasing, right? So where are the new people coming from? New jivas are coming. There are no new jivas. The number of jivas are fixed. Because there are no more place for the fox and lions and tigers to be there in the forest because deforestation, they come as your grandchildren, children and all that. So, and they behave like that only. Janmar they say. Because according to him, see, if you take Papa and Punya, for the Papa you have to go through the experiences for the sins you committed. So the experience of the sins that you have done are accounted in your birth as animals, where you have no chance of thinking and doing right. This is called ajnanena avrutam. Your knowledge is obscured by the ignorance because of the overpowering results of the past sinful actions. Therefore, even as you are either a human body or any other physical body, there is no chance of even thinking other way. On the other hand, when your punyas are there, for which you take a human birth and you have more chances of gaining knowledge and overcoming it. That's why being a human is the greatest blessing, not only because you are born as a human, but you have a chance to move further up and not to commit wrong things. A dog can be trained to do the right thing or to do the things that you want, but it cannot on its own start thinking about to do the right thing. But as human being, we have the ability to think, observe, oh, this is not the right way to do. And we have a way to learn and decide on by ourselves. Right? Jantavaha muhyanti. In general, not because of the overpowering ignorance that is covering knowledge, in general, all living beings are deluded. Unless they take their own volition, effort to overcome it. So if you have done the sinful action, you have to face the result for that. Not that Bhagavan will take it. And if you have done the right thing, again you won't take. It is you to experience it. Na adatte kasyachit papam, na adatte kasyachit sukrutam, vibhu. Ajnanena avrutam jnanam. The knowledge is obscured by the ignorance. Then, and due to that fact, ajnanena muhyanti jantavaha. The people are deluded. So, again and again, he points out, Arjun, it is your effort to overcome that with the right knowledge. And the knowledge is sannyas, as yesterday I told you. Sannyas is not just wearing a garb and then moving around. No, knowledge is sannyas. Sannyasa equal to jnanam. Because Swami Tapovanam was asked this question, what is the science of a jnani? Is it knowledge? Obviously. Otherwise you say, if a person is living with the minimum, like a sannyasin who lives with minimum things, etc., by itself it is not considered as sannyas. Even a beggar, then he doesn't have anything. Is he sannyas? Is he? What is the difference between a beggar and a person who is detached from the world? What is the difference? Both of them don't own or possess anything. What is the difference then? The difference is in the knowledge. Because the one who is a beggar, he cannot own anything, whereas a sannyasin can, but decided not to. Because of his knowledge. Because he knows I don't need it. Other one is, I want, I don't have. There's a big difference. Right? A person who doesn't have anything, because he cannot procure anything, therefore he is cursed to live like that. Is he happy in that condition? Whereas the sannyasin who is capable of getting, but he decided not to, because he says that it's not necessary for me, he is not unhappy in that condition. That's why when we joined Sandipani, many of my uncles came and asked, who is that girl? I said, what do you mean? Who made you like this? So usually people, what is they think sannyasa means escaping from some sorrow or a tragedy. Gurudev said, if you are unsuccessful in the world, you will be an unsuccessful Swami also. It is not that one is not capable, one who decided not to do that, out of choice. See, when you are a vegetarian and when you enter into a non-vegetarian party and you do not have anything to eat, you will probably settle down from salad or some curd rice or whatever it is. Are you unhappy? If you are unhappy, I am not able to eat this, I am not able to eat this. Then you are thinking twice whether why don't I be a vegetarian? If you are convinced that you are, then you are not unhappy about it. Go home and eat curd rice. Finish. You are not unhappy there. If you decided, if you are not, if I am a teetotaler, I am, don't know. And I am in a bar, I am not unhappy. I am not able to drink this. I am not able to drink this. I am not, everybody is drinking. I am not able to. Then means what? You are not convinced. And even in that place, you are happy. Why? You people drink, I have nothing to do with this. Ratya charpata virajita kantaha punya punya vivarjita pantaha yogi yoga niyojita chittaha ramate balun mattavadeva. Very simple possessions. But Ramade, he enjoys unmattavadeva, like a madman. His joy is not depending upon what is there around. He is wearing a cloth which is thrown away from people, but he is happy. Punya punya vivarjita panta. He walks the path which is neither punya nor papa. Because these things cannot disturb him. These are all for the people in the world. Punya, then I will go to Swarga. Papa, I will go to hell. Therefore, I don't want nothing to do with that. I will walk the path which is straight dharma, satyam. It doesn't matter whether it is causing me papa or punya. It doesn't matter to me whether it takes me to hell or heaven. It takes me to moksha. So, that is the nature of a jnani. And Bhagavan says, neither somebody's sin or merit highly. So how does one overcome this ajnan which is covering or obscuring the knowledge? See, what is this knowledge? As yesterday I have told you, jnanam is not what you obtain from the book. Jnana Jnanam is the awareness that I am Satchidananda Brahma. Whether you know it or not, you are. मुझे मालूम नहीं है, फिर भी आप ब्रह्म हो. Is it not true? I don't know I am Brahman, even then you are Brahman only. I know Brahman, even then you are Brahman. So what is the difference then? Either to know or not to know. That doesn't make change that you are the self. Tattvamasi means what? Tvam tattvam bhavishyasi. No. That you will become Brahman. No, you are. If I ask you, many times this happens, when somebody, what's your name? So that means what? You're thinking? What's wrong with you? One place, I asked, okay, what's your name? Wife? What? Thinking? Because which one? Are you human? Wait, don't ask me some sudden question. You are Brahman, you should say yes. What else? As a Vedantin, if you say, are you Brahman? Thinking about it. Whether you know or not. So, Jnanam is that recognition of the fact that I am. It's not something which you are made to. It's not you will become. You are. So, this knowledge is directly making you realize who you are. Which I have not thought about it. I mean, schools and universities don't tell me that I am Brahman. Not that my parents told me that I am Brahman. Not my friends told me that I am Brahman. So when did I come to know? And what is that understanding? What I have been from the time I am born, even now and even further. During the time when I was growing up and studying many other things, I was not aware of the fact that I am Brahman. Right? Now that I know, and I look back, even when I was a 2-year-old running around, at that time also I am Brahman only. Once Ramana Maharshi was asked, what was your mind when before your realization of yourself? Well, why do I talk about that foolishness? But I was acting like a fool. I was looking for that. I'm playing games and I'm going running here and there without the recognition of the fact that I am Brahman. I am Satchidananda Paramananda Swarup. So, only way to overcome this deluding ignorance is to becoming aware of this knowledge and holding on to it. That's why he says, Jnanena tu tadajnanam Yesham nashitam atmanah Tesham adityavat jnanam Prakashayati tatparam Jnanena tu tadajnanam Yesham nashitam atmanah Tesham adityavat jnanam Prakashayati tatparam Tad ajnanam jnanena nashitam. That ignorance which obscures, deludes, can be overcome only by the right knowledge. Jnanena tu tad ajnanam nashitam bhavati. And in one in whom it has become. Atmanaha yena jnanena atmanaha ajnanam nashitam. And in whom this knowledge have taken place, because of which his ignorance is gone. Tesham, those people, for them, this jnanam prakashayati, param prakashayati adityavat. It will reveal to that person the highest nature like that of the sun. Adityavat prakashayati. What is the nature of Aditya or sun? Divakaraha Meaning what? It doesn't create the light, create the day, it reveals it. When objects are around, when you wake up around 4:30 in the morning, which usually don't, but when you wake up, everything is dark, right? You need to have a light to see things. But the moment the Divakaraha, the sun comes, it doesn't light one by one. At once, everything at once spread. Everything is revealed. Here, revelation means what? What he didn't create. What was already there comes to manifest. That is called prakashayati. It causes to become known. Kash. Prakash. Kash means spread or light actually. Pra is upasarga. Prakasha. Akasha, you know. The same word, kasha, means spread and then it is also light. Akashyate iti akasha. It is revealing everything because it is accommodating everything. That is why akasha. Avakasham dadati. Anyway, so prakasha, that's why Kashi, the brilliant one. Bhagavan Shiva is Kashi Vishwanatha. So, prakashayati means it reveals. It doesn't create the objects. Objects are hidden in darkness. When the sun comes, at once everything becomes clear. Similarly, this knowledge is that having gained which everything becomes ajñātva sarvamidam vijñātam bhavati. Everything becomes spotlessly clear. So knowledge alone can overcome, can destroy ajñāna. Anything else you do, so let's say this place is dark, and then I come inside, everything is dark. What do? Too much of dark. Take some broom and clean up the place. I want to remove the darkness. Can you remove the darkness by anything else other than bringing the light? Vidya avidyam nihanti eva tejas timira sangavat. Tejaha timira sangam nashayati. Timira sangam, the darkness. Anything else you do, it won't go. So when you bring a light into this room, what happens to the darkness? It goes to the next room. है कि नहीं? जा रहा है यहाँ से दूसरा कमरे में go. Does it go?
No.
Where does it go? Where does it go?
Disappears.
Tell me, no? Darkness is here.
Yeah.
Bring light. What happens to darkness? Go to
Disappears.
another door and go to the next. Because darkness has no positive existence. If it is a positive existence, it should go somewhere else. This is one logic we have to understand. Second logic is, when there is light, you cannot bring darkness. I want to make it dark. What do? Bring darkness from the other room. Can you? So, you cannot bring darkness when there is light. When you bring light, the darkness does not go away somewhere. That means what? It is only an appearance. It is only absence of light, not positive presence of a thing. Same thing, same way, ajñānam, the very word means absence of jnanam. So when jnanam comes, it not that it has its own existence to go somewhere. Abhavameva ajñānam. There is a lot of debate goes on. It's a bhava rupa jnanam va or abhava rupa jnanam va. So this logic will at least to shed on that light. It is abhava rupa jnanam. Though interesting thing is, yadyapi abhava rupa jnanam, tasya karyam, the effect of ajnana is bhava rupa. This is the problem. The effect of ajnana is experienceable realities, experienceable apparent realities. But by itself, the cause itself is above. But the effect is bhava. Anyway, I'm not going to that. So, ajnanena avritam jnanam. And that ajnanam can be overcome when it is. Now the question is, how ajnan, if it is abhava, how can it cover the jnana? It's another interesting one. But we don't have time to do those things now. Take it in the very simple way. So, when jnanam is the only one which can remove jnanena tu ajnanam nashitam atmanaha. Tesham, to them, adityavat, like that of the sun, prakashayati. Kim prakashayati? Tat param prakashayati. It reveals your higher reality at once. Not gradually. When the teacher really says, Tat Tvamasi Shvetaketo, right there. But our mind is so preoccupied. Our mind is so impure and preoccupied. आप क्या बोल रहे हो? तत्वमसि. अच्छा, कब? We are very delayed in our understanding as well as thinking. I have to think about it. When the mind is pure and clean and alert, it is right there, it hits you. That is why it is said, when you have the right teacher, you cannot but understand. Ananya prokte gatiratra nasti in Kathopanishad. If a person who is standing on the Brahma Tattvam and he says this, you cannot but get there. There is no question of doubt. There is no ambiguity. There is no absence of clarity there. So such people who has gained this understanding, that's why the word Brahmanyadaya Karmani, I told you that, I will explain that part. What is Brahmanyadaya Karmani? Jnana Adhaya Karmani. Asangena Adhaya Karmani. Asange Adhaya Karmani. Sangam Tyatva Karodhyaya and Dipkatena Sapapena. So the Brahman of the nature of one's own true reality, holding on to that when a person does the work. Padmapatram basa na lipyate. Like that of the lotus leaf unaffected by water is unaffected by the results of action. For he knows from that standpoint that Brahman I am, na adate kasyachit papam, na cha eva sukrudam vibhuhu, ajnanena avritam jnanam. So when he recognizes himself as Brahman, which does not have anything to do with papa and punya, with that understanding when he does the work, nothing will disturb him. And continuing here, such people who have gained this Atmajnan clearly, Tad buddhayastad atmanaha, Tannishta tat parayanaha, Gacchantya punaravrittim, Jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha, Tad buddhayastadātmānaha, Tannishta sat parayanaha, Gacchantya punaravrittim, Jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha. Apunaravrittim gacchanti. Such people who gain the knowledge, they reach a state of no return. Punaha means again. Avritti means return. Punaravritti means rebirth. There is no rebirth for those who gained this insight about their own nature. So many things I have not done in this life. Again I want to come. With that mind, when you die, you will come. Because you still have unfulfilled desires. So, punaravijananam, punaravimaranam, punaravijanani, jagati Ye samsare bahudustare kripaya pare pahi murare. Again birth, again death. You know, Gurudev used to give, Gurudev gave that talk on this Shiva Aparada Chamapana Stotram. You should listen to that. You will roll into laughter on the TOFL. Like when you will roll on the ground. It's so funny. Ado karma prasanga kalayati kalasham matrukuksham sthitam. He explains this verse of how by not remembering the Lord, you again and again and again and again come back. But once you recognize yourself as the highest truth, no coming back. Are you ready? No, Swami, I think I have to. This birthday I am a man, next birthday I want to be a woman. I'm following birth as a dog in a wealthy family. Kuch karna hi nahi. So our desires never end. But tad buddhayaha, those who have their intellect focused on that. Tad atmanaha, those who have recognized themselves as that. Tad nishtaha, those who are abiding in that. Tad parayanaha, keeping that as their final goal to reach there. Gachanti na apanaha punaravrittim. They reach the state of no return. Jnanena nirdhuta kalmashaha. Their impurities, kalmashaha, are destroyed by jnanena, by the knowledge. So in this beautiful, step-by-step process, first is tad buddhi. Tad buddhi. In what does it mean? Presently we have is tvam buddhi. Meaning I, aham, iti buddhi. Always we are looking at me, iPhone, me. So all the time we just focus is me. When do we change our aham to tvam? Tvam means, or tad, let us say, that tvam here means jiva. So tad means that I am not this which I am considering myself to be. I am that one. When you say that, immediately what comes to your mind is far away. Is it not? Of that tree and this building. So you already distanced yourself. Right? That tree and this building. That wall and this carpet. That carpet and this stage. That stage and this body. That body and this mind. That mind and this self. Beyond that you cannot go. And that which you can never make it far away from you, until that point you have the notion it is away from you. Tad dure, Upanishad says, tatu antike. Upanishad says that is far away from you, but actually it is closest to you. Why this contradiction? Ajnanena tad iti, jnanena aham. So that which is considered to be by me, oh God, everybody, every religion, God, where exactly he is? Somewhere up there. Everybody raises the hand up there only, as though somewhere away from us. Upanishad says, no. What are you looking for them somewhere there? Tvameva tat. Tat tvameva tat. In Kathopanishad it says, that you are that. So presently, when a person coming to get introduced to the knowledge of the Brahman, he begins with Tad Brahma, Tad Atma. So therefore he says, Tad Buddhayaha, Tad Atma. See that next immediately puts that. Tad Buddhayas Tad Atmanaha. When a person comes to recognize what I consider as that which is the reality is me, myself, you come closer. The next step in maturity, what the teacher is teaching about is not some X factor far away from me. When you go to a place of worship, a religious place, etc., temple, etc., the priest never would say, you are none other than the Bhagavan himself. Does he say? What does he say? Bhagavan ko aap smaran karo, smaran puja karo, upasan karo. Yes, you have to do that to tune the mind. But ultimately, the one whom you are worshipping and you, there's no difference at all. The distance is created by your mental impurities. To overcome that, you may do upasana, puja, and all other things. But ultimately, having done the purification of the mind, you coming closer and closer and closer and closer, and with knowledge, you come to see, I am. Tad buddhayaha, then tadatmanaha. Once you come to realize that my own nature is that, then what? Tannishta, then stay there. And just staying nishta, nidaram sthanam nishta. Abiding in that understanding and not moving away from it. And that becomes your goal. Then tatparayana, param ayanam. And no other goal anymore interests that person. Because it gives all that you want. After all, anything that is seek in this world is to make ourselves happy, right? Nobody does anything in this world to become unhappy. You are here, I hope. Why? Because you want to be happy. If somebody dragged you to this place, come and sit and listen to Swamiji. Slowly take the phone off. Why? Because you don't find this happiness. So in our life, not a single action we do to become unhappy. So what is our paramayanam? Sukham. Want to be happy. And one who remains understanding, I am the Paramananda Sukham, the will you move. Not even the greatest sorrow can move him. That is what Bhagavan says in 6th chapter. Sugamatyantikam yattad buddhigrahyam matindriyam veti yatra na chaivayam stitas chalati tattvadaha. Having gone there, he will not move. That nishta, that is called a full abidance. It is like a sound sleep. Sleep for you, sound for others. Sound sleep. And somebody wakes you up, morning. Come on, get up. How much time I have extra? Half an hour. After 2 hours you wake up. Because that last lap is the most intense. You don't want to get up there. So is it not true that you don't want to? Because it's sukham. So the nishtaya sukham. Therefore, that is the paramayanam, supreme goal. So, tad buddhayaha, those who have gained that knowledge, tad atmanaha, so that is the understanding, that is myself. Tannishta, next, abidance. Tad parayanaha, those who have gained that as their complete final goal. Gachanti, where do they go? Apunaravrittim. Because punaravritti is caused by desire. Even a single desire you have, for that you will come back. A single desire, if it is there, that will make you return, come back. So completely eliminating all, that is a jnana nirdhuta kalmasha. Their impurities in the form of desires are completely destroyed, then te na gachanti punaravrittim. They would not return back. So Bhagavan gives the final, see every chapter he completes it. He brings the whole knowledge into every chapter. Then again I'll tell you. You will start again all over. That's the beauty of the teacher who was so compassionate. So now he gives what is the science of such knowledge, person of knowledge. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne
Vidya Vinaya Sampanne
Brahmane Gavihastini
Brahmane Kavihastini
Shuni Chaiva Swapake Cha
Shuni Chaiva Swapake Cha
Pandita Samadarshinaha
Pandita Samadarshinaha
Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shuni Chaiva Swapake Cha Pandita Samadarshinaha. Pandidaha Samadarshinaha. They have the vision of equanimity. Vision of equanimity means they do not see the external aspect of anybody. Whether it is a Vidya Vinaya Sampanna Brahmane, a person of sattvic nature who has Vidya Tada Vinayam. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, one who has both knowledge and humility. In fact, knowledge alone can give true humility. Humility is not, I am good for nothing, oh, I am useless, helpless. That is not Vinaya. Humility born out of knowing that there is more to learn. I learn very little. The more you know, the more you don't know. That is the beauty of it. The more you know how much you don't know. So Vidya, Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane. In a person who is well read and a person of positive virtues, in him also you would see the truth, the reality, the Brahman. Gavi, in a cow. Hastini, in an elephant. In all of them, so it's after an animal, even in that animal. Whether the animal is a domesticated cow or a wild animal like that of the elephant. And even a dead dog, Shunichaiva. And even in a person who eats a dog. According to some people are eating dogs and cats. Even in them. Swapaka, meaning Swam Pachati. Pachati. Swam means dog. That also cook and eat. Swapakecha. Even in those people who are considered by the society as the lowest of the nature, even in them, Pandidaha Samadarshana. I remember that Manisha Panchakam introduction where Bhagavan Shankaracharya was walking in the streets of Kashi, which was narrow, and one person only can walk, and opposite to him came home one so-called Chandala with 4 dogs. So Shankaracharya knows who that is. But it is said there are 2 different stories. One story, Bhagavan Shankaracharya knows who it is, but for his disciples to understand how one should not slip from that knowledge, always, he made it as a scene to teach them. Or perhaps, Bhagavan made a leela to make you forget. So he said, move away. Annamayam madava chaitanyeva chaitanya duri kartum manchasi kimbruhi gacchati. He said, that Chandala said, consciousness is everywhere, where does it go? And this body is no different from your body, then where should it go? Why should it go? So then only Shankaracharya realized, I thought him to be some low born, but he is none other than one who is speaking the highest truth. Then he said, you have mistakenly identified with your body, and therefore you think you are a Brahmana, aham a Chandala iti. King Gangambuni Bimbidemba Ramano Chandala Vati Payaha Turi Evantara Mansi Kanchana Gati Mrityundur Pambare Pratyek Vastu Nilistaranga Sahajananda Vabodam Bodo Viproyam shapachoyam mityabhimahan koyam viveda pramaha. What is this delusion that you have? What are you thinking? Is it not that reality is the same, right? Like of the space that is there in a golden pot or a mud pot is the same? The water in which the reflection of the sun takes place, whether it's a gutter water or a Ganges water, is the same. So what is the difference between you and me? Shankaracharya fell at his feet, only to realize Bhagavan Shiva standing there smiling. Don't ever mistake yourself to be the body. The moment you do that, you fall. So, Panditaha Samadarshina means their mind is always set on Tadbuddhaya, Tadatmana, Tannishta, Tadparaya. That alone is true, irrespective of the Nama Rupa, forms and names that appear in front of me. Astivadi Priyam Rupam Namachet Amshapanchakam Aditrayam Brahma Rupam Jagat Rupam Tatodvayam. The existent consciousness principle is Brahman, everything else is Jagat. World. World is what? Nama Rumatmakam Jagat. Of the names and forms only of the world, is it not? Remove the name and form, what is there? If there are many parts there, one is pot, one is a ladle, another is a plate, etc. All essentially is what? Madeva Satyam. Madeva Satyam. Only mud is the truth. It appears in different names, form and different names. Essentially what? Mrityava. In the same way, essentially we are Brahman, though we appear in different forms. So, Pandidaha Samadarshina. Men of wisdom is same in their vision. We have something more to cover. So